it's James from Finney Electrical, and on today's video we're doing the electrics for bathroom installation. So we've got some IP downlights going in, like niche lighting in like a shelf in the shower. There's like a fancy shower light and a mirror light to go in, so there's loads of stuff going in. It's going to look really cool. So let's get into this. So this is what the bathroom fitter's just sent over. So it's like a top down of the bathroom so you can see what's going in, but you get a little idea of what's going in. So this is your mirror light over here. So that's got like a anti-mist thing. It's got like a heater built in so it doesn't steam up. And it's also got a light built in there, so you just press your finger on it and that works. And then over here there's going to be like a little mirror light for a shaver as well. There's also your shower light here. So that's going to be one of those rainfall shower lights. It's flush with the ceiling. It showers down and it's got a light built in. It looks really cool. There's also going to be a shelf over here, which you can't see from top down, but there'll be a shelf there. And in there will be some LED strip which will be colour changing, so that's going to look really nice as well. And there's going to be 5 spotlights as well, so we'll kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then there's a fan which is going to go on the wall here as well, which will vent out into the soffits. There's also some underfloor heating to go in, so all we need to do is on the outside of this wall there'll be a controller, and that will basically control the underfloor heating for this section here. Yeah, so we're just going to get his tools out and then get everything marked out inside. Right then, so this is the bathroom all ripped out. So I had a bit of prep work with the plumber, or the bathroom fitter. So this is what we're dealing with at the moment. Just give you a quick pan around the room. So this is going to look similar to the other bathroom we did a year ago. So look here, we've got the underfloor heating control there. We've got the light switch, it's just a light and the fan separate. Yeah, this is basically what went in last year. So it should look similar to this. Pretty nice bathroom really. You got your niche lights there. You got your light flush rain shower, and there's a light in there as well. I think there's a remote with that. In this bathroom we went for a fan there, but ours there'll be a fan over here. Then you got your 5 downlights. And then you got your mirror light here. So that's what it'll look like. Basically, so you pull it out, it flicks a little switch. That's basically what we're going to do in the other bathroom. And that's your mirror light. That's similar. I think this one's just on off. I think the other one's got heat as well. There we go. So I've just gone through all the positions with the customer. So basically, there's going to be 5 lights in here. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 behind my head. A little mirror to bob in here. So just did a little X-ray that's going to be. We're going to swap that over for a new shaver socket. There'll be a fan going roughly in the same hole, so we just need a cable for that. And again, that'll be on its own switch. So the switching for this, at the moment they've got like a 1-gang switch. So we're going to swap that over for a 3-gang switch. So one switch will do the top of the stairs, middle switch will do the fan, and the other switch will do the lights in this bathroom. So that's going to look nice and neat and sweet. And then on the outside here, we're going to bang the controller, like you saw in the other bathroom. So there'll be a controller here. I'm going to put a fuse spur next to that one and just come off the side of that socket for the underfloor heating. So it's like a little isolator. And then you've got the mirror behind. So you just ask for the cable to get brought out, middle of the wall. And what else? We've got the niche lighting as well. Nearly forgot. We've got the niche lighting to go in here as well. So again, we'll just leave a bit of cable ready to connect onto the LED strip. And then there'll be like a little box called a driver, which basically drives the LED strip. And that'll get powered up in the loft as well. So I've just remembered, the walls last time were made of hay. What? The actual walls were like a straw wall. So I don't know why they built them like that, it's quite, flammable. Anyway, so the walls are made of hay. So last time chopping out a hay wall is so we're there for ages with this mullet tool, just shaving away at this wall, trying not to take too much out, otherwise it would have wrecked the full fixing of the box. But yeah, it took ages, and by the end of it, it looked like a horse had been. And there was like hay all over the floor, and we had to spend ages trying to clean it up, and it was a bit of a nightmare. So we've got I think it's the same situation here. So when we're chopping out for this down here, yeah, it's all going to be hay, so that should be interesting. So yeah, there's going to be a few spare, like we said earlier, next to that socket. So we're basically just going to get the multi-tool, kind of chop the shape of a box out, and then just keep going left and right, left and right, left and right, shaving it until all the hair's out of the wall. So I'm just taking this socket off and just checked if it's level or not, and it's well out. So what we're going to have to do is just pick a point, because normally we'd go to lug and then get us level, and just mark each side and then extend that line across, and you just line the lugs up with the new lugs, and it should be perfectly level then, straight across. Of course that's not level, we're just going to have to pick a point which will land in line with this once this is screwed back, so it's level. So what we're going to have to do with this is obviously draw around this box, get him chopped out, but we're going to have to send this on an angle through and then pop out within the 6" of this wall. So we'll land out in this electrical zone here. So we've got to aim for here from that there. So that's going to be interesting. Just a quick note, so when you chop out these, you basically have to get your multi-tool sideways and chop out the sides. So what that does is allow for these wings to pop out, like so. My goodness. It's like an Oscar's been here, look. Nice. So all that came out of the wall. That fits in there nicely. Yeah, when you do it and you shave it, it's all nice and smooth. But anyway, so it's all cut out now. That box fits in there nicely. There's a bit of wiggle room to get it level, about a 2mm wiggle room, and that should be perfectly in line. So all I have to do now is the back of that, just get a drill on an angle, pop out in here, which is easier said than done. So we'll do that next. And then all we're going to do is spur off this once. So we'll check this as a ring. If it's part of the ring, then we can come off here once with a 2.5 to power it up, and then it'll just be a 1.5 out of here up to the underfloor heating. I've got those cables through now, so I've just put a feed into the fuse spur. I've got a cable coming out which will go up to the controller, and now we're just going to chop out for the controller the same height as that switch. So this box is chopped in now, and that's ready to come through into the 6" zone. So I've mentioned the zones twice already, and I'll explain what it is. So zones are basically where you can run the electrical cables, and you're not allowed to run it outside the zone. So you can run electrical cables 6" in the corners and 6" around the top of the room, and every switch and socket creates a zone horizontally and vertically. So I'm just making the channel for the other side of the wall, so we can bring the cables through to that controller. My goodness, look at all this here. So I've just took all the middle out. I've still got a multi-tool it. But there's loads and loads and loads. So all I'm doing is getting this on top speed and just going in and out really quick, just to chop all this out. So I've just got the multi-tool on that now, so that's looking nice and slick. All nice and neat channel all the way down. So that's ready for the cables to go through the wall into his fuse spare there. That's going to go through up into the controller to feed it, and from the controller there's the underfloor heating cables and the sensor. So this particular bathroom fitter likes to fit his own underfloor heating and sensor, so I just leave the channel ready for the cables to go in. So that cable's in now, so it goes through there, down the chase, and then pops out the wall, ready to get into that fuse spare for the second fix. So just going to move on to wiring up the lights now. So there's 5 lights above in here, and we're going to mark it out using a laser level. So the way we're going to wire the lights, what we're going to do is this cable here, which goes up the wall, is nice and loose in the wall, so we're going to kill the power, tie onto that, and pull some cables up. So we're going to pull a cable up, which is basically going to do the lights in here. So we'll just wire into a light and then the next 4. And then we've got another cable just to do the fan on the wall. So we'll get that wired in, because that's going to be switched separate. So it'll be a 3-core and earth 1mm to there, a 1mm twin and earth to your lights, and then we're going to have to pull in another 3-core because we've just pulled out that 3-core. So just to show you, I'm in the loft now. That's that cable which goes down to the switch. So that's nice and loose. So we can basically tie in like we said, and we'll end up doing like a little junction box here to reconnect that cable back down to the switch. So I've just had a quick bit of lunch, and my goodness, it starts snowing again, flipping that. So hopefully we get out of here today, but look at that. Covered. It's only been like half an hour. I've got a laser set up. You can see that just casts a line across the ceiling, and then you just get equal points. So what we've done is matched out the centre of the shower tray for this light, so they'll line up in a line, and then we've just copied that measurement to the end. That's what that is. Got a measurement on the end there, and then that just pings at 90, so you get a perfect 90 degrees. So I just need to mark that out now. So we've matched that end, and then we've just divided by 2 to get your centre, so that's how you get your centre mark there. So the wall's out by that much, so I'm just going to decide which mark to go off, which looks best. I've gone with the laser line instead of the actual wall measurement off the wall. So as you can see, it's slightly to the right, but it looks better when you eye it up. So sometimes it's best just to go off your eye level. This will actually focus. We'll just get this chopped out now. Going to wire between the lights now, and then we'll leave a cable long enough to go down to the switch. So they're all in now. So all we have to do is get a cable from here down to the switch, and then that'll be the lights wired. So what else we have to do is get another cable from here over to the fan, and another cable just tied on, because we'll end up pulling this one out. So then that'll be this wired. There'll be a joint above the ceiling, above here, above the switch, which we can nick a permanent live, so a permanent live and neutral. We've also got a feed. We'll bring that down to the mirror, so that's permanently powered. And we've already nicked a feed off this one. So this is a shaver socket, it's on with the lighting circuit, and we've just corded the cable up in the back of there and drilled out for the mirror light that's going to sit there. So the shower light, we've got to wire up for that, and we've got to wire up for the pump as well. So the pump doesn't pull much, so that can actually go on the lighting circuit. So we'll end up nicking another feed from there for the pump, and we'll get the shower light to come on with the right switching as well. So I'm just taping on the cables that are going to fish up the wall. So you only get one shot of this. You need to make sure this is really tight on, it's not going anywhere. So you've got that cable there, which is going to go to the spots, and then we've got a few cables which will go to like a little joint box above the ceiling, which is going to reinstate that cable and get us an additional switch wire for the fan. It's just pulled through nicely, so it's tape jointed, did the trick. So I would have just kind of twist the earths back on each other, tape around it, and then just attach on these cables, not all at once, but kind of stagger them down the cable. So here we go. That's gone in perfect, that. So all I have to do is get a grommet in there, because whoever did this before didn't put a grommet in. We've got those new cables in now. I've got the grommet in as well, so it's not going to cut in. Obviously I've got the old switch still wired, so that's live at the moment. So when we take power off, we're able to wire it into this. So Nate wants his spots working, so I've only got a 2-gang switch in van, so we'll get that powered up so it'll do it landing in the bathroom spots, but then we'll swap that to a 3-gang and wire in this cable here, and then the fan will have its own switch as well. That's all wired up, so the switch on the left is just wired exactly like it was before, and then what we've done is just nick the permanent over to the common of the other switch. So when you flick this switch, this cable will come live, which will go to your spots and turn on your lights. So I'll get that screwed back. Obviously there's quite a lot going in back of here, but it will screw back. So that switch is on now, so that's just doing the landing light and the spots in here whenever I wire them up. So I've done the connection to the loft as well, so it was a bit of a nightmare, different cables coming here and there, but I've just done that connection now in like an enclosure in the loft. So Nate wants the lights on for the end of the day, so what I'm gonna have to do is just second fix these now. And then I've got to get a cable down for the mirror, cable down for the niche, and that's it. So these are the lights we've got to fit. So they've supplied some Saxby lights and some the cool white lamps there. If you look there, 6,500K. So have like a cool white or daylight. So we'll get these wired up now. For some reason they've only set 4, so we'll just fit 4 and then cap the end one off. And this has got light in there. Just connected that back together and switched the power on. So that's that light working. And then the light's working in the bathroom. So that's put on that. So next we're just going to get a cable in for this fan and leave it at the junction box at the top. And then we're going to get a cable in for the mirror light. And same again, that's going to be a permanent feed. We're going to pick it up from that same junction box. So if you look in there, that's the actual roof there. That's the actual soffit, which you can see. So it's quite a low soffit, so what we'll do is get like a fan grill just down there. So it'll just, we'll get some like flexi ducting and that'll just sit into there nice and neat and sweet. And then that'll be it. Just got that cable through, ready to run underneath and then come up through the joist into the back of there. So that's as fuse spur for the pump, that's as fan isolate, but we've also done all connections for extending those 2 cables back into the loft. So when it comes to it, we'll get that to length, clip it along, and then we can get it into here when we come back. And the fan cable, that's just here. That's ready to connect in, and then we're just going to disconnect that out of this switch. It just goes to there randomly. So we'll disconnect that out of there and then whip that out. So we also got the cable in for the niche lights. So that's all ready to go down this build out section that Nate's going to build the bathroom fitter. So again, it's going to kind of box out and along, and that'll just hide that boxing section and then end up in like a shelf where it's going to connect into some LED strip. I've just managed to get my Hammock Wall. I'm going to put one arm there, and then fish it past this corner. So let's pull that to length and then we'll just run it along, clip it along, and then clip it along to a junction box in the loft. So it's a bit hard to do without hidden here. Aiden's working with another lad at the moment, so I'll just do it and then show you the cable in place. Right, so all done down here for the first fix of this bathroom. We'll probably do a second fix video coming shortly. So what we've done, we're going to change that to a little 3-gang switch. Got the heating controller up there, so Nate's got to get his sensor, which just sits underneath the underfloor, and he's got to get his actual mat. It's like a little tail that comes with like a little lead that just goes into the back of there. Then I'll do the connection, and it should look like it does in this room. So it'll end up looking something like that. Got a fuse spur in down there, so that's all nice and neat. So just got to get a fuse spur for next time, wire that on, and then that'll power up the controller for the underfloor heating. There's 5 lights in and powered up, so Nate can see this week while he's working. Got a cable for his mirror light, that's all in. Got another mirror light over there, that's like a little shaver light like you saw in the other bathroom. We've got his niche light, so there you go, little niche light that'll just solder onto the end of an LED strip. And then that just goes in like a little aluminium profile. So Nate fits all that into this kind of shelf over here. And basically we just stick his LED strip on, and there's like an opaque diffuser that kind of goes over the top of that. So that's that. What else we got? I think Nate said he's gonna get me a shaver socket for that, so that'll get swapped over as well. Got the fan in as well. So that's all ready for the new fan to go in. So basically he's gonna tile it and just leave like a circle for this new fan to fit in. As you can see, it's quite messy in here, so I'm just gonna get it all tidied up, get all that hair tidied up. It's right mess, isn't it? So all that's to come up, get all those tools back in the van, and then we'll be done. That's miles better now. So it's all swept up, all tidy. That hair's filled a full bag, which is amazing. Got a bit for scraps, so I'll get those in the bin. So that's us done down here. So when we're back again, you'll see it all nicely tiled, and then we'll get like the mirror, the fan, the niche light and all that powered up. You get to see it looking in its final kind of form. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, that hair. I just can't believe it. It just takes like 5 times as long just to do a channel in the wall. So yeah, if you've got hair walls, it's a nightmare. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know next time we upload. As always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.